Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Jason Tu from ZTE. First of all, I want to thank China Mobile to have ZTE and me here for the GTI event. So today my topic actually is talking about AI. So we understand nowadays AI is going to be changing the whole world in the coming years, like maybe 25 years ago, the internet did us. So we have two ways. The first way for the traditional industry, I'm sorry to say, telecom, we're waiting for the hyperscalers and OTT use AI to change us. Just like Alibaba and Jingdong use internet to change the Carrefour and the Darenfa nowadays. But the other voice said, they don't know network at all. The operators and vendors are only person know the network from the very beginning. And we do have experience, we do have the knowledge, and we do have running all the network, thousands of network everywhere. So no matter what we are doing now is true or not, right or not. So the experience is so important to training the AI, not the OTT guys. Okay, so my topic is try to touch a small aspect of the AI, actually is an agent. Well, let's come to the situation, the 5G. So today we have a lot of story about 5G. Somebody said 5G is a tough marketing story. So we are still waiting for the killer application for the 5G. I don't know. So I just know from the very beginning, this event, Mr. Gao said this afternoon, China Mobile has commercial launch 300 city 5G this year. Okay. But from a technical aspect, 5G is so successful. We can see the bandwidth 10 times. The quantity of the terminals, with the introduction of the red cap and passive IoT, we assume the quantity of the end terminals UEs would be several times of the population. And also for the NTN, so we are going to put our base station on the balloon, on the drones, or even on the satellite. So that is the network going to be very, very complicated comparing to the existing network. Why? Because bandwidth 10 times, the terminal quantity several times, and also so many base stations everywhere. Also, we're going to introduce. So the complicated of the network. So there comes the question: do operators need several times of the human being for the maintain or operating the existing 5G or even more in the 6G? No, we don't think so. We have something which is called digital employees to do things. So that is my topic, agent, digital employee, the LLM-powered agent. So they are going to do some business development, the customer experience enhancement, and operation efficiency upgrade. Okay, this is the motivation why we need to introduce AI for our network, and why this is the only thing we can do, not others. Okay, this is a basic mechanism of the multi-agent system. So when we want to intend to do something, we have a request. And of course, we have observation. So we go into the planner and make some analysis and emulators. And of course, go to the emulators, we have inside collections. We can see what we want to do is right or not, and we have a loop back to the request and observation. And go to the planner again. After several loops, especially on the emulators, so we can finally find what we want to do is right or not. Is going to achieve our goal or not. If we find it's right, so we can go to the decision maker and go to the optimizers and the reviewers. And finally, we go to the Okay, container creators and the digital assistants. So I think this is basic mechanism for the whole idea about multi-agent system. So we have a lot of a position. And nowadays, no matter it's a human being or digital employees, so it's running like this way. So multi-agent system are characterized to facilitate the complex tasks through the coordination efforts of multi-autonomous agent. Okay, well. So how can we introduce this mechanism to a real network operation system? So for example, China Mobile, the world's largest network, and the super complicated architecture of the operating and maintenance. So we have different vendors. Okay, different vendors. And even in one vendors, we have to management. There are different network elements. For example, the RAN, the core network, the bare network. So how to coordination all these things to achieve one goal. So beyond this, we have a cross-domain autonomic capabilities. Okay, for example, service assurance, problem found, and something like this one. And beyond the capabilities, so we have a cross-domain agent, so something like digital employees. So inspection agents, prediction agents, assure agents, and something like this. And even beyond these agents, we have some high-level goals, for example, major event assurance, so like a single-tell story. So we can have something. We have to guarantee that, maybe a National Day event or something like that. We have E2E service quality management. So all these things could be coordination for all these agents, okay? So this is a scenario-based automatic capabilities orchestration and autonomous network operation with agent integration by large language model, or sometimes small language model, corporation for the network maintenance. Okay, so this is why we can introduce this kind of mechanism to our real network management. Well, let's come to ZTE. So ZTE providing what we call the U-SmartNet solution to achieve this architecture. So what U-Smart network solution is actually an operating and managing system. Especially, I want to emphasize it's end-to-end. Okay, just like ZTE, we can providing the RAN, core, IP, bare network, and even fixed access network. So basing on this architecture, we have three big engines. The first things on the right side is the digital twin engine. As I mentioned, we need the emulators to try to emulate what we are going to do done and what will result in a virtualized environment. And another, on the right side, we have a big data engine. So we have a data lake, we have a data and AI governance to make sure all the data was right. And something was on the central is the most important, is AI large language model engine. I have to emphasize, this one is telecom large language model. So we need training them with all our knowledges, not only the 3GPP, ITF, ETSI protocols, but also all the experience we have formed all these years maybe from the TDM stage. So basing on three engines, so we have some skills. We have service, insurance, faults, quality, and compliance, something like this one. So basing on these skills, we have agent, assure, expert, the complaint analysis expert, and the network insight expert, and the fault handling expert. So we have all these agent and expert to handling all these things. And of course, for the value scenarios, for example, network planning, site commissioning, and also fault canceling, power saving, and something like this one. So this is a basic architecture of the U-Smart network solution. So maybe you can have a question. How many agents do we need? So that's a good question. So one of the ideas is that, so we can just identify the agent just as the existing human being position. Because we cannot use all agents to replace all the human employees one day. So if we identify the digital employees, I mean the agent, just like the position of the human being. So we can make the migration step by step. Even something is wrong or not good, so it would be easy to roll back. Okay, so this is one of the ideas. How and we introduce this multi-agent cooperation system to the existing organization of our network maintenance. Well, let's come to the result, some practice. So ZTE do have our U-Smart network deployed, especially in China Mobile Network, to get some benefits. For example, in the Project Z, we have a major event assurance. We can see the workflow decrease 80%, so 6 person one day to 1 person one day. The other project story is coming, the fault monitoring. Normally, it's going to be 5 minutes to 1 minute, and the troubleshooting 2 hours to 5 minutes. So we have a new organization which is used to be 90% of human engineers and 10% of AI. Maybe it's just a co-pilot. But now with the introduce of the MAC, we have 90% of MAC, but only 10% of human being engineers who make the real decision. And of course, for the new working flow, for the human being, working flow is stable. People are stable, okay? But for the agent-based architecture, it will be easier or more flexible for the convergence of the agent. And of course, for the new architecture, from the CLI, GUI to the code, but for the Air UI to the maintain. Well, this is a basic story about what the MAC deal with a complicated event assurance. For example, human, some high-level person want to do some guarantee for a special event. This is a human intent. And of course, we have to sell the existing network, what is going to be on the existing network. And of course, we're sensing the world. And all this is the input to the virtualized expert team, assurance expert, monitoring expert, troubleshooting expert. So we can go to the major event assurance. The agent will go into all the steps and step by step, and sometimes will be automatically running and monitoring by the large language model powered agent. Well, let's come to the event that just happened just 1 week ago in the Wuzhen World International Conference. So before the network, before the event, the agent do the quality assurance, network data backup, network risk identification, and high traffic strategy generation, something like this. And during the network quality assurance, so we have real-time network KPI monitoring, emergency strategy deployment, and something like this. And after the event, the agent will finally generate the report. So we can see the benefit for the operator. 100% of the connection ratio, 0 of the drop-off, and of course, 5 times of the efficiency of the improvement. I mean the human being. Well, so we have many cases. For example, in Beijing, so we have short video traffic increased 10%. So all this case is awarded by the TMF Outstanding Crystal this year. And in Zhejiang province, in the beautiful stadium for the Olympic Center, so we have monitoring the walking flow dropped 30%. And for the Anhui, for the International Tennis Open event insurance, so we can see the walking flow dropped 83%. And for the Xi'an Datang, okay, I think the network traffic increased about 20%. Well, let's come to the end. So we understand AI is on the way to change the whole world, but we have to understand AI is on the way to change our network. We have to have a very good quality of the data, otherwise garbage in, garbage out. So this is what we have, not OTT have. Second thing, we are going to have an intelligent agent, that is the digital employees. And also the digital evolution, so we are in the evolution from TDM to the IP to the cloud, and nowadays on the AI evolution. And most important things I have to emphasize, After the agent is a telecom large language models. So it's an AI native based 6G. I think it's very important. And of course, ZTE have all this agent infrastructure, use smart network solution, and telecom large language model. So we are going to have a very big demo on the next event of the Barcelona. So if you have time, please come to ZTE booth next event, MWC. Okay, thank you.